Good evening, everyone. How are you today? Hopefully, you are safe and good. Today's session is going to be like a revision on what we have said before on the present simple. Do you remember what we said before about the present simple? The use and the form, and how can I use it, okay, in different sentences or negative or questions. So what does mean present simple? In order to answer this question, we have to remember what are the different uses of the present simple. I can use it when I talk about a habit or a routine, something that you used to do, like I always drink coffee at work, for example. Facts. And these facts, as we said before, it could be scientific fact, something that you can't change, general facts or truths, like the earth is not flat, for example, or something true about yourself, or fact about a personal fact. Okay? So true, like for example, he works on Wall Street. This is number two. Number three, we said there is a different meaning for the present simple or a different use for the present simple, which is for the future meaning. And when can I do this? When can I use it like to give the future meaning? If I have a timetable or schedule in this case. So for example, my train arrives tomorrow. Even if it's the future, I use here the present simple because of the timetable or the scheduling. How can I make a sentence in the present simple? It's very easy and very simple, as we said before. The sentence, yes, do you remember the verb? I have just main verb in this tense. Don't forget, please. And this verb, either it's verb plus us, and of course, we said this is before, singular, he, she, and it, and or verb infinitive, and in this case with the rest of the pronouns I, we, you, and they. So as an example, I eat, we eat, you eat, they eat, but if I said he or she or it, it's going to be eats. And do you remember how can I make the negative and the question? As well, it's very easy and very simple. For the negative, we use don't or doesn't, okay? And doesn't, of course, with the singular, with the s, and don't with the rest. You know, if I want to make a question, I use do or does as a helping, then the subject, then the main verb in the infinitive form. And the rest, of course, of the question, whether it's yes or no question or WH question. So now I want you to have a look at these sentences. These sentences may be correct or maybe having some mistakes. It could be one mistake, two mistakes, three mistakes. It's okay. So I want you to look carefully at these sentences, trying to tell me they are correct or not correct. This is number one. If it's not correct, where is the mistake and how can I correct it? How can I correct this mistake? Okay, so this is your homework, guys. The second homework related to the present simple, it's like present simple, third person, positive, negative, and question. I'm gonna revise again and again on present simple because it's really, really important to understand it very well and know how to answer it correctly and use it in conversations as well. So here he said, write the third person singular of the verb. So you are going to answer these verbs. Use the verb in brackets to complete the sentences as in the example. So for example, I, and he wants you to use live. So we are going to use that live is, I is just, we use the verb infinitive, so I live. Okay, and here I join, but if I said he, going to be he joins. So you are going to complete. Number three, use the prompts to write sentences as in the example. Okay, so here he said, I want you to order these sentences. Do you remember we have taken this before, how to arrange or order sentences? So I want you to try to order these sentences. The first one, for example, he works on the computer every day. And don't forget, here he said work in the verb, but I corrected the verb by adding s on the verb. So you are going to correct, you are going to order the sentence, and at the same time, if it needs that you are going to add s or es or ies as we said before, you can add it as well. Okay. The fourth question, Tom lives in England. You are going to write the question and the negative for the same sentence. So Tom lives in England. The negative is going to be what? Tom doesn't live in England. The yes or no question, does Tom live in England? You are going to make this for all the sentences. Here in this question, you are going to write don't or doesn't, okay? Or if it's a question, you can use do or does in this case. Match the question to the answer. Here are some questions. What time does she get up? Which answer is the correct answer? So you are going to match. So number one, A or B or C or D or E, you are going to choose. Okay? Okay. One more. These are some important questions related to the present simple. What do I mean by this? I mean by this, for example, how can I speak using this? So for example, if I asked you, what are some activities you like to do? What do you like to do, for example, if you have free time? So I'm gonna say, for example, I like to, let's say, to read some stories, or I like to play tennis, for example. So what are some activities you like to do? So you say I like, because it's something true about you. So I plus the verb in front of it. The rest is homework about you. You are going to answer these questions, all of them. You are going to use the present simple as well. Okay. There is one more, I think. Yes. I'm going to give you something now. You are going to listen to. You are going to write the answers, and then we are going to check the answers online when we are going to revise the homework. Okay? So let's listen for this, please, and try to answer the questions. These are the questions. What time does the man get up? You are going to choose 7 or 6 or 5. What time does he go to work or get to work? And then what does he do with his family around 6:30? Okay, what do the man and his wife do after the kids go to bed? What is one thing the man doesn't say about his wife? He doesn't say about his wife. Listening is really important because when you speak to a person, you don't see the question, you listen, you just listen. So for example, I keep talking to you face to face in conversation, and then for example, I asked you a question and you ask me a question and we start answering these together. So whenever you have listening, it's really important to read the questions first. قبل ما تسمع أي حاجة، لو في فرصة إن أنت تقرأ ال questions الأول، just read it to give you an idea، عشان يديك فكرة الحاجة اللي أنت هتسمعها هتبقى إيه. تخليك just concentrating more، هتخليك مركز قوي و catching يعني إيه؟ يعني هتركز قوي وتلقط الانسرز بسرعة لما تبقى فاهم أنت بتدور على إيه بالظبط. اوكي، ده بيخلي التايم او السبيد بتاعت ان انت تجاوب على الاسئله بيبقى افضل، بيبقى better. وبالوقت انت بتتدرب على السرعه، على السبيد بتاعت الليسننج. That's why it's really important. عشان كده بالنسبه لنا listening ده important جدا. I don't remember، انا مش فاكره I told you about this website before or not. مش عارفه انا قلت على الويب سايت ده قبل كده ولا لا. بس اسمه ESL Lab. ESL Lab ده من افضل الويب سايتس that is about conversations in English, especially it's about American English. Mostly the speakers are American, and at the same time he gives you questions and you check the questions and you start to give marks for yourself. There is one more thing about it. في حاجة كمان عن الويب سايت ده which is really nice. It's divided into levels. هو متقسم ل levels: easy level, intermediate level, and difficult level. I'm going to show you هو عامل ازاي اصلا difficult questions for example, or difficult level. That's it. Yes, of course there are a lot. For example, there is also English cultures videos, ESL vocab, and a lot of things. Okay, how can we deal with the website؟ ازاي بنتعامل مع الويب سايت؟ احنا طبعا بما ان احنا في الاول لسه في بدايه الليسننج، لسه ما تحسنش قوي عندنا، يعني ما بقاش بيرفكت قوي، فاحنا هناخد الايزي ليفل. لما بندخل على الايزي ليفل بنلاقي كده كل دي توبكس. انتوا متخيلين ده كله listening. all of them are just you see. شايفين النمبر بتاعت الليسننز او recordings عامله ازاي؟ شايفين قد ايه؟ ف if you finish this المفروض ان انت كل listening انت بتسمعه عليه questions. هو تقريبا مش بياخد وقت طويل، يعني من 1 minute ل 2 minutes. اوكي. فهتلاقي ان هو السبيد بتاعته في الايزي ليفل مش عاليه قوي، يعني السرعه بتاعته مش عاليه قوي، والتوبكس هتلاقوها معقوله شويه. بس باي تايم السرعه دي بتعلى، يعني الناس تبتدي تتكلم بسرعه اعلى شويه، اللانجوج جيت هاير، يعني يبتدي يستخدم الكلمات بدل ما يستخدم الكلمه الايزي يستخدم السينونيم ليها، الكلمه المرادف فيها بس الاعلى شويه في الايه في الليفل. فالمفروض ان احنا واحنا ماشيين في classes together ان احنا بناخد as much as we can من listening ده. and it's guys يعني I'm not gonna take all the listening، اكيد طبعا مش هنقدر نكفر كل الليسننج بتاعت الايزي والانترميديت as well. بصوا الانترميديت قد ايه، بس نفس الايديا بالظبط اهو. have a look now. do you see برضو do you see the numbers؟ كل ده listening، انت بتختار الحاجه اللي انت عايزها وتبتدي تسمع. الدافيكلت اعلى بقى ليفل بالنسبه لنا الدافيكلت، هتلاقوا بقى السبيد بقت عاليه قوي، الكلمات بقى مستواها اعلى شويه، شايفين الليسننج قد ايه؟ فاكيد احنا مش هنلحق نخلص كل ده throughout the course، بس انتوا ممكن احنا كل مره بناخد حاجه في الليسننج وانتوا as well في البيت بتسمعوا انتوا كمان وبتتدربوا. هو لطيف قوي في ايه، ان انت بعد ما بتسمع as I told you يعني كل واحد هنختاره زي اللي احنا هنسمعه حالا دلوقتي اهو. زي ما قلت لكم انتوا بتشوفوا الكويستشنز الاول، طالما في الافيلابيلتي ان احنا نسمع الاول، بنسمع الاول سوري بنقرا الاول الكويستشنز ونبتدي نسمع، بعد نختار الايه الانسرز بتاعتنا. اوكي. دايما هو بيعمل الحركه دي، دايما بيديكوا نوتس يعني ايه، يعني في النص كده في كلمات معينه بتتقال فبيروح مديكوا الكلمه ومعناها. اوكي. لو هو ايديوم دي يعني فريز على بعضه، مصطلح على بعضه كده، لازم نبقى عارفين ان هو على بعضه مش بنترجمه كلمه كلمه، لا هو على بعضه زي كده زي فريز، زي عباره على بعضها. المعنى بتاعها بيبقى مقصود بيها ايه؟ مقصود بيها حاجه معينه، مثلا burn the candle at both ends يعني ايه؟ work to excess that affects your physical and emotional well-being. okay. مثلا work one's tail off يعني ايه؟ يعني ايه لما تقول لحد work one's tail off؟ يعني work very hard. فهي انت لو حاولت تترجمها كل كلمه مش هتديك المعنى ده. اوكي. احنا هناخدهم بعد كده ان شاء الله، بس يعني مبدئيا يعني لو انتوا عايزين بس تعرفوهم لغايه ما انا اشرحهم ان شاء الله اكتر. اوكي. هقول كمان هنتعامل معاه ازاي مع الويب سايت، بس for now let's listen. تعالوا نسمع and try to answer the questions. اوكي. هو المفروض ان احنا نسمع مره واحده، بس طبعا عشان احنا برضو في الاول انا ممكن اسمع مره واثنين وثلاثه على حسب بقى كل واحد واللسن بيجيب من اول مره ولا تاني مره ولا listen please.
So, what's your usual day like? You always seem so busy.
Well, I usually get up around 5 a.m. and work on the computer until 6.
Why do you get up so early?
Well, I have to leave home at 20 to 7 so I can catch a bus at 7 o'clock. It takes me about 20 minutes to walk to the bus stop from my house.
And what time do you get to work?
My bus takes about an hour to get there, but it stops right in front of my office.
That's nice. And what time do you get off work?
Around 5 o'clock. Then we eat dinner around 6:30, and my wife and I read and play with the kids until 8 or so.
So when do you work on your website? You said one time that you created at home.
Well, my wife and I often watch TV or talk until 10 o'clock. She then often reads while I work on my site, and I sometimes stay up until the early hours in the morning, but I try to finish everything by 1 or 2.
And then you get up at 5 a.m.?
Well, yeah, but it's important to live a balanced life. I enjoy what I do, but you have to set aside time for family and yourself.
I agree.
But I think my wife has the toughest job. She spends her whole day taking care of the family, taking the kids to school, working in the garden, buying groceries, taking the kids to piano lessons.
Wow.
That's a full-time job, but she enjoys what she does.
Well, it sounds like you're a busy but lucky man.
I think so too.
Okay, so now that's it. If you would like to repeat it until you get the answers. When you get the answers, he is going to tell you if you answered it correctly or not. Okay. Okay. I think that's it. I don't want to give you any more today. I just want to stress on the importance of the present simple. That's why this session is just like a revision on what I said last time. A revision on the present simple only. I want you to understand it well and try to answer all the questions correctly. Okay? Thank you and see you inshallah next time. Bye.